day of our STTP. So, every day was a different experience for all of us. So, we should thank all the speakers and we thank all the participants for making this session very interactive and very interesting. And today we have come to the final day. And today morning session is to be hosted by Vetrividial Srinivasan sir, who is a very, very dynamic person and very young by his mind and heart, and he's always very sportive, very encourager, and he's also a trainer, he's a motivator, he's a counselor, and he's a chartered accountant. He has different faces, and when we asked for a profile of sir, he said, no madam, nothing அப்படியே நீங்க சொல்லுங்க அப்படின்னா. So he's very simple, down to earth. He has connect with lot of MSMEs. Some people are known by their personality than by their paper. So that is how Vetri Vidial sir is. So I mean, the man who doesn't needs an introduction, and you will also acknowledge it after hearing it from you. Such a vibrant and energy packed, power packed session will be delivered by sir, and he is here to discuss on very, very important topic: interpersonal analysis. Like, I'm okay, you're okay. So we all strive to be happy in life, we all strive to keep people happy, and we also strive to be happy. So how to do that, how can we take it forward? So we have a eminent person to discuss how we can be okay, and how we can make the people around us okay, and how we could improve this interpersonal relationship. So thank you sir, thank you for joining with us, and thank you for your consent to deliver this session. We welcome you sir, on behalf of all the participants and on behalf of Tagore Engineering College. I welcome you to this session, and over to you sir. Thank you sir.
Thank you very much. First one, clarification. Should the lecture be purely in English or English Tamil mixed?
They mostly English only, sir, because some of them are from.
Do not know Tamil.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, friends. First, I thank Tagore Engineering College for giving me this opportunity to share some of my ideas with you. Today's title is I am okay, you are okay. In about a fortnight's time, in about 15 days, each one of us will be greeting the person we are meeting with the phrase, wish you a happy new year. And the response will be something like this. They may say that wish you a happy new year or wish you the same. This will be the normal transaction between two people. My wishing you new year and you are reciprocating my feelings through your wish. But supposing one person asks, what is so special about new year? For me, every day in the year is the same. The first transaction between two people wishing and reciprocating the wishes is a normal transaction which happens at the adult level. And if the other person is a thinker, an intellectual, a person who deeply thinks about everything, who analyzes everything and comes back with the question or the answer stating that what is so special about this day, I consider all the 365 days the same way. Every day is a new year. So that there is a difference in these transactions. The first one comes from your adult mentality. Somebody is wishing you or you are wishing somebody and you are reciprocating. Very simple. It is something like, supposing I ask you, what is the time now? And you reply 10:37 or 10:35 or 40 approximates. This means I am asking you a question and you are answering me, and it is happening at the same plane level. But a human being is not made in that way. He is not 100% adult. He is not 100% CPU, central processing unit. Thomas Harris, the person who has written this book, met his mentor and co-learner Eric Berne in about 1960s. Eric Berne had developed a concept called transactional analysis. The transaction that is happening between two people analyzing that in a new way. That was a starting point of a new concept in the second half of last century. He developed the concept called transactional analysis. And Thomas Harris, while this lecture was delivered in a symposium, attended the same to deliver his own speech. Then he became close to Eric Berne. Both of them developed the concept to the fullest extent. And unlike many of the concepts in psychology, this concept went to the common man. It reached the common man. And the first step towards that was taken by this book, I Am Okay, You Are Okay. This hit the market in 1970s in India. In 80s, it became popular. In 90s, they had fans. In 2000, they had fanatics. And we still have people who gather around, form circles, and in the name of transactional TA study circle, TA circle, and continuously improve this concept. நம்ம முதல்ல பார்த்தோம் wishing somebody and reciprocating in the same level. What is happening there and what are the individual shares happening inside a mind? We are concentrating only from the angle of, from the dimension of lecturer, professor, student relationship, teaching staff and the student relationship. In our country, the sentimental people will realize the juicy aspects of our school days, juicy aspects of their school days, and the knowledge based aspects of their college days only at the age of 40. During the college days, whatever advice we give them, however close we try to be with them, we try to put our hand on their shoulders and treat them as our compeers, they won't, companions, they won't understand. It is because of that we have chosen this topic for discussion today. What is happening in an individual, that to a teenaged boy or a person who has just now crossed teenage? What is happening in him? How to handle the transactions between us and the students? Next slide, please. This one is Eric Berne, the other one is Thomas Harris. Both of them have developed this concept. And this book is available in many languages, including Tamil. English book is available in net in free PDF also. You can go through that. In 1 hour, we may not be able to cover all these things in a deep manner. I will be dealing with the main subject, the core of the subject only from the angle of the student-teacher relationship. Next slide, please. This is a famous couch. This is the couch which Freud was using to talk to his patients. Sigmund Freud was the pioneer in psychology. He brought out a new concept called the twin angles of a human being. He said we have instincts. We have many instincts, but the major instincts of a person is only sex and anger. Sex and anger are the two driving energies of a human being. He used to handle various kinds of patients. A person who is under stress, a person who is in hallucination, a person who gets the same dream repeated every time. He used to allow them to lie in this coach. He would ask them questions and try to answer them, find out an answer from their statements, from the details of their dreams. So one must understand that Sigmund Freud was the pioneer in psychology initially. Second one. Next one, please. We all have 3 aspects in us. Even the lecturer and the professor has, the teaching staff has 3 aspects in us. All human beings have 3 areas in us. To Place this in your mind deeply. I have used these three photos from the picture onion. The basic classification made by Eric Byrne and Thomas Harris will not be based on this. It will not be based on this, but we must understand there are three persons within us. There are three personalities within us. Identifying those personalities and handling it within ourselves and the other person is the main theme of the lecture here. Next one. Eric Byrne classifies the personalities into three divisions: P, A, C. P is called parent, A is called adult, C is called child. These are called ego states. All these three are ego states: parent, adult, and child. I will explain all the three in 2 lines each. Parent is taught concept. T-A-U-G-H-T. Taught. You are taught something. Parents tell you to do certain things and not to do certain things. Here the classification parent includes parents, their relatives, our own relatives like uncle, aunt, school teacher, primary school teacher. All these people come under parental category. Parents are the personalities, individuals who have control over us, who have control over us, who are able to influence, who are able to mold our personalities. When we were young, we were listening to them. We were listening to them. Child is the aspect with which we are born. It is based on feelings. Here it is taught concept. T-A-U-G-H-T. Taught. Here it is feelings. The emotions we have. All kinds of emotions. We normally say that childish behavior, childlike behavior are different. Childish behavior is means which is not relevant to our age, related to, pertaining to, suitable to our age. But in case of childlike feeling, for creativity we need childlike feeling. We must be able to think like a child and act to be very creative. So in the case of child, it is felt concept. Here it is taught concept. This one is felt concept. The middle portion is the thing called adult ego. As you grow up, you develop a sort of maturity. You process details. You are able to take inputs and process those inputs inside you and come out with the right kind of reaction. So this is called thought concept. So once again, we are looking at the three phrases. Parent is taught concept, T-A-U-G-H-T. Adult is thought concept, T-H-O-U-G-H-T. C, child is felt concept. A person, a comprehensive person, a well-rounded person will have all these things in proper proportions. I am not saying equal proportions, in proper proportions. For example, if you are going to a house where there is a birthday party taking place, you will react 90% from your child level. From your child level. In a birthday party, when you are attending, you will forget your age, you will join with the children, other adults also will become children, and all of us will be playing in a childhood mood, because that is the appropriate reaction required there, required, suited for that occasion. Supposing we are visiting somebody who was lost A close relative, father, mother, spouse, there we will not behave like a child. A bit of weeping may be necessary if they are related to us or very close with us. But supposing we are only known to them as a nodding acquaintance, neighbors, not very close to us, but we know each other, we may not be able to weep there. And when we go there, we talk to them in a counseling manner, in a consoling manner. What do we say? You are an elder person, senior person of this family. Your father has passed away. Your mother has passed away. These things normally happen. Any person who ages at this age has to one day leave this world, and you should not lose heart. See, the person may be leaning on you, on your shoulders. At that time, you won't be weeping like a child, you will be consoling. So, in that occasion, in that situation, you will be reacting from your parent. Your thought concept will come out. You will be reacting like a parent, your parent, as a matured person, a person who is able to control his emotions. But supposing you are in an office, and you are going late. You are going late. What was the reaction of a person who goes to school late? Fear, weeping, and fear of punishment. But in the case of an adult, fear may be there, but you will not be expressing it. You will be explaining why you came late. If you give lame excuses, your manager or a senior or a supervisor will say that these are all childish excuses. So when you go to an office, you act in a manner which is suitable to that occasion as a matured person. Maturity does not mean you are an aged person. You are a senior person. You are past 50. No, you are mentally mature. So there are three areas, and how these three get influenced. This is getting influenced by our parents, seniors, or the mentors, or the people whom we like. This one is born with us, and we try to control it. A person who is not controlling it at the appropriate age. Supposing a person who is in plus two and the teacher scolds him, and the person weeps in the class, everybody will say that you are behaving like a child. For his parents or her parents, he or she is a child, but it is an inappropriate action. So, what is required is adult. So, if you understand that there are three portions in us, you must understand that there are three portions, divisions in the other person also. Eric Berne comes in and says how we have to make the transaction. It is not for self analysis. TA, transactional analysis, is not for self analysis, which normally happens in a counseling session when you meet a psychological counselor or a psychiatrist. No. This deals with the transaction with the other person. How to handle a situation. Next slide, please. We can say that this is in form of a signal. The same details are given in a different one. Next slide, please. In an adult life that is beyond 20, we all try to spend our time from adult to adult situation. In offices, in marketplace, in friendship party, in all places, adult to adult. But there is a special relevance for teaching staff. Much of the day, more portion of the day, majority time of the day, you will be dealing with a child. The student at the age of 19 or 20 or 16 or 17, whatever may be the age, depending on the school or college, is not a fully matured adult. That is why sometime back I said the student understands the value of his education, school as well as college. Both are giving knowledge to him from two different angles. In case of Montessori, a person's knowledge level is understood and then appropriate teaching method is used on him. In case of college, individual values, individual levels are not very much ascertained. The lecturer talks to the class and the student has to rise and catch those ideas. In case of difficulty, he has to approach the lecturer separately. So in the case of a lecturer, unlike an office, unlike a marketing place, unlike a friendship circle jama, it is not between adult and adult, it is between adult and child most of the time. If a student is behaving well, in the right manner, taking notes, asking doubts, getting clarified, and if he is thankful to you, he is behaving in an adult manner. Mind you, he will yet attain his adulthood and maturity only after 30, but now for his level, he is behaving like an adult. But most of the time, they will be behaving like a child. So let us take a simple transaction between these two. This person asks for the time and the other person answers the time. The other person does not say, why don't you take the mobile from your pocket, which is an Android, and see the time? The question must be relevantly asked. I should analyze the situation. The other person asking for the time really requires it. I assess that and I answer it. I am not asking anything else. Madam told me in the introduction, told you that I am a chartered accountant. We chartered accountants have a particular handicap when we go to places to audit their accounts. They will be advised, the staff will be advised by their superiors and their officers and the owners. Supposing the auditor asks a question, simply answer that question. Don't pepper it, don't salt it. Don't try to give more information. If he asks for a particular voucher, you give that voucher. You don't say anything. The thing here is, it is a problem, sir. The filing clerk is not doing their work properly. All those things don't answer, because in those extra information, auditor may infer something for his report. So the adult to adult transaction is very useful while auditing is done. Next slide, please. Nice weather, sure is. This is an example. Second example. The first one I said is the time. We can go to the next slide. One person asks something to the other person. This is the person who generates. He has three divisions in him: parent, adult, and child. And a question comes. That is called stimulus. The other one, the reply, is called response. Throughout the day, when we are interacting with somebody, there is a stimulus from us and there is a response from them. There is a stimulus from them and there is a response from us. So here it is from parent. What time to do? What time do you call this? This is adult. What time do you call this? A child has returned home late. A staff has come very late to the office. The person, he does not ask from his adult. He asks from his parent. What do you call this? What time is this? I'm sorry for being late. It won't happen again. Supposing the question is asked from adult, you are late, then you would have answered, sorry sir, I will see to that it doesn't happen again. Sorry sir, you gave me a job yesterday which you have forgot. I went to the bank opened at 10 o'clock. I finished the job you gave me. and I have come here at 10:45. This is the answer. But here it is called a parallel transaction. As there is less time, I am not going to give you many examples and explain this in very great detail. I will just touch and introduce the subject to you. The other person is asking from this question, what time do you call this? You can understand that he is trying to be authoritative. He is not acting from his adult, he is acting from his parent. His father, mother, superior, teacher would have asked this statement to him, and he is coming from that. He is not phrasing his sentence in a manner, why are you late? Why are you late is the right way. The answer will come the adult. But what time do you call this? He is coming from parent, and the other person knows he is answering from, he is asking from parent, and I have to answer from my child. This is called parallel transaction. These two lines are running parallel. Supposing I am asking something from my adult to his adult, and he is answering from his adult, parallel transaction. I weep, you also weep with me, parallel child transaction. Here we are going a step further from one division, not to the same division, but to some other division. A question is asked, I am sorry for being late, and you also give a promise it won't happen again. The person will calm down. This is what we should understand. If the response is not proper, if it comes from adult, it will not suit this occasion. If it comes from the parent, it will not suit the occasion. The question is asked to the child. You must understand that the question is asked to the child, and if the reaction is from the child, there won't be any cross swords. There won't be any swords crossing. Next slide, please. This is called crossed transaction. You should have done that by now. Why are you talking to me in that tone? This person is acting from adult. Adult need not be an appropriate response. We must understand that reacting or responding from adult or parent or child need not be appropriate for the occasion. Our superior is asking, why you should have done it? Why are you talking to my? Or you should have done this by now. And we are answering, why are you talking to me in that tone? You are not answering the question. You are not answering his question. You should have done the job. If you answer, I have done the job, sir, it is ready, this question would not have come. But out of ignorance, he may ask, you can still react from your adult. This cross transaction, in that case, cross transaction is okay. Here, you are not answering. You are not saying why you have not done the job. Why are you talking to me? This is an adult transaction because your adult processes and thinks that the parent is not required. This is a crossed transaction. Once again, I am telling you the caution. Once again, the crossed transaction can be suitable for an occasion. It may not be always suitable. We have to understand that it is a crossed transaction. Next slide. I will handle the teacher-student relationship a bit later. Wash your face. Then the parent says, don't be rude. If you are able to use the wash your face, why don't you wash your face in a monotone, in a common tone, in a soothing tone? You are acting from your adult. If you are weeping because the other person is looking dirty, you are reacting or acting on your child. But here it is said, the stimulus is wash your face is a thunderous instruction from the parent. Poignant mistake finding from the parent. This person also comes from his parent. Don't try to snub me. Don't try to be authoritative. Don't try to rule on me, dominate me. You are just like me. You are just one level superior to me. In another 2 months or 3 months, I may come to your stage. All these things work in his mind, in his parent mind, and he is reacting. So we have seen 3 crossed transactions and 2 parallel transactions. Next one. So this is a comparative approach. The 3 slides I had given you, action. And this is known as complementary. Parent to child, child to parent, parent to parent, parent to parent. Complementary. Complementary. Here, parent to child, reaction from adult, crossed transaction. Then there is a third type. The statement looks like it is aimed at your adult portion. The statement looks like it is aimed at your adult portion. Somebody superior gives you a job assignment to be done, and he says, I hope you will finish it by tomorrow. I hope you will finish it by tomorrow. He is talking to your adult. Then he adds one more line. In case of any difficulty, don't hesitate to call me. In case of any difficulty, don't hesitate to call me. What does it mean? He is not addressing your adult. First line is adult to adult, but the second portion of that statement is appealing to your child. In case of difficulty, I know you are only at that level, you will face difficulties. Don't hesitate. I am trying to. The statement looks like it is not coming from parent. The statement looks like, in case of difficulty, you can always call me. The tone is from the adult, but he is appealing to your child. So there are 3 kinds. Next slide. It is very expensive, one person says to another. And what he ulterior method idea is, you can't afford it. You should not have bought this. This is unsuitable for you. You are trying to be more than you can be. All these things are ulterior transaction. Now we will get into teacher-student relationship. Next slide, please. The student has, you can go to the next slide. This also explains, or we can come back to this. There are 4 levels, and we can deal with the student relationship. There are 4 levels. This is known as Johari's window. You will find this kind of 4 divisions. This kind of 4 divisions in analyzing many things in engineering field also. In engineering field also. This is known as Johari's window in psychology. You can use it in time management. You can use it in delegation. You can use it in file arrangement in your computer, file arrangement in your office hard copies. It says, this is the essence of the book which we saw in the first slide. I am okay, you are okay. I am not okay, you are okay. I am okay, you are okay. I am not okay, you are not okay. And all these things. I am, you are. I am not, you are. All these 4 divisions you can see. But let us spend 15 seconds on each. One down position. This person will always be complaining to other people. This person will be always complaining. I am not okay, you are okay. உங்களுக்கு என்ன சார், நீங்க நல்லா இருக்கிறீங்க. நீங்க என்ன சார் கார் புதுசா? உங்களுக்கு என்ன சார், உங்க அப்பா பணம் வச்சிருக்காரு. I am not okay, you are okay. I am not okay, you are okay. You will find this normally in people beyond 60. I am also beyond 60, but consciously I have avoided this. I am not okay, you are not okay. Sir, நமக்கெல்லாம் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸே கொடுத்துடக்கூடாது சார். வெள்ளக்காரனே இருந்திருந்தா நாடு எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும் தெரியுமா? You might not have gone through this kind of statements now. Very rarely you may come through. But when I was very young, I was going through these phrases every day, at least twice. Because I was born in 54, in 60s and 70s, I was in school and college. And there were senior people who took part in freedom struggle, who took part in Second World War. And some were, like my father, were alive during the Great Depression in 1930. They are alive. So they will say, this country will not flourish at all. It is a very bad country. நீங்களும் சரியில்லை, நானும் சரியில்லை. You will find when people try to solve the problem of this street garbage, ஒன்றும் சரி கிடையாது சார். நம்மளையும் குத்தம் சொல்லணும் சார். These people will never give solutions. And I am okay, you are not okay. One up position. This is one down position. This is one up. என்ன சார் நீங்கள் என்ன கிளாஸ் வச்சுருக்கீங்க? ரேபன்னா? இல்லை சார் நான் லோக்கலாக வாங்கினா. ஓ ஐசி, ஓகே ஓகே, யூ ஆர் நாட் ஓகே. இது ஃபினான்ஷியல். சைக்கலாஜிக்கலி இதுக்கெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு போகவே போகாது சார். யூ ஆர் நாட் டூயிங் த ரைட் திங். லெட் மீ ஷோ யூ ஹவு டு டூ இட். They will try to enter into other person's personal affairs and try to correct them. I am a financial advisor. A person comes with a lot. This morning somebody came with me a huge amount and I gave him suggestions. I gave him suggestions in such a manner that I am okay, you are okay. Supposing I give it, you do not know how to handle money. Basically it is his money. He has earned it. He has taken VRS and he has got a huge amount. And I should not be treating him that he is not okay. I am a financial advisor. I am not the financial controller. I am the financial advisor to him. So I should understand that I should talk to him as I am okay, you are okay. I will give you suggestions. You take the suggestions appropriate to you, suitable to you, which you think is better for you. I will give you options. So I am not okay, you are not. I am okay, you are not okay. You find people around you. Probably you may be one of the persons. You must change. It is best to be I am okay, you are okay. It is best to be I am okay, you are okay. Next slide. I will ask madam to share all these slides to you in your WhatsApp. We need not concentrate much on this. Now I go to teacher-student relationship. The child, go to the next slide, madam. Next slide. Next one. We will see this slide and the previous slide and go for question answer. Subsequently, Thomas Harris, Eric Bond, Thomas Harris, and subsequently, they classified the parent into two portions and the child into two portions, subsequently three portions. This is known as nurturing parent. This is known as critical parent. Nurturing parent, critical parent. Free child, rebellious child. Free child, rebellious child. We will have this classification in one of the slides. In parents, we have two divisions. Our parents have told us to do certain things. Do this, don't do this. But while teaching them to us, while trying to put those ideas into us, principles into us, the life guiding principles into us, they used to force. The father did not tell me, for example, my father didn't behave that way, but my father did not tell me, he told me to get up at 5 o'clock. If you want to earn good marks, score good marks in your school, get good marks in your college, good grades in your college, get up at 5 o'clock, that is better way. He was trying to nurture me. But supposing he was pouring a mug of cold water on my face while sleeping. மூஞ்சில தண்ணி அடிச்சு எழுப்பணும். எங்க அப்பா இப்படி தான் செஞ்சார். Controlling parent or critical parent. They control you. They criticize you. They are very highly critical. They are not nurturing you. What happens? The school going child suffers by his father's behavior throughout the school, and for college, he goes outside the house. He goes to a different city. He stays in the hostel. In the hostel, he will wantonly get up every day at 7 o'clock. What was his father's behavior? To make him get up by pouring water on his face at 5 o'clock. This guy, he now understands that by getting up at 5 o'clock, he will be able to gain good grades in the college, but he is answering the father now. So, nurturing parent is the best way. Critical parent or criticizing parent can happen once in a while, not always. So, we must strengthen this. Our adult is divided into two portions. Certain things might have followed in the old, from the old generation to the new generation, which may not be suitable today. Which may not be suitable today. Things might have changed. Because my father was an aged person, I got him a cordless. Because he could not walk around, he used to sit in an easy chair and work, and from his table he used to work, continuously work. I would take the cordless to him and give it to him whenever he received a phone call. But he belonged to the previous generation, not seeing a phone at all, then owning a phone at the age of 40. Not seeing a phone at all at the age of, up to the age of 20, seeing a phone, living with a phone in an office up to the age of 40, owning a phone at the age of 40. So, phone, the old cord telephone came to his life only at the age of 40, close to his life. He was using phone close to his life. So, after talking in the cordless, he would walk to the base of the cordless telephone, base of the cordless telephone, and place it there. I used to remind him, it is about 20 feet. Why are you walking? I have given you the cordless to use on your table. Why should you come back to the phone level, to the same place? They cannot change. So, like that, we may not be able to change our critical parent also. Transactional analysis tells us to be less critical and more nurturing. In the case of free child, now you will find that people weep. And if a boy weeps, what do we say? In our culture, what do we say? Payyan alvana, panniyanna ponna. We try to put in their mind, a male should not weep at all. Wrong. A male, if he becomes a total adult, 100%, he will fail in his life. So free child means it is allowing its free child creativity, feelings, emotions fully. Rebellious child, if the parent is critical, criticizing, controlling, it will result in rebellious child. Adaptive child is also there. Rebellious child, most portion. So, if a person had a bad past, bad young age, misused, mishandled, manhandled by parents, then he will become a rebellious child. Now I will come to the college level. A student normally behaves from this division, rebellious child, rebel child. Normally. It may be from the level of minute, moderate, magnificent. The rebellion attitude may be very mild, moderate, or magnificent. Very minute. You say, you ask a student to get out of the class because of some misbehavior. The rebellion will come. He will slowly stand up, very slowly walk, and while going out, he will just once again turn and look at his friends, smile at them and go. Rebellion attitude expressed in a simple way. Medium one. He immediately questions you, why should I go out? Rebellious child, magnificent. He behaves in a totally, he throws tantrums. This we must understand. A student or a girl student immediately weeps. Free child, allowing the freedom to his or her emotions. It doesn't mean weeping alone, showing anger also, because free child does not control the emotions. So, in the case of a lecturer, you have gone through several slides, you have seen several slides, and you may be having controlling parent in you. And each time a student misbehaves or does something wrong, you try to act from this, but it is better to act from nurturing parent. There is a limit to act from nurturing parent, but only when we have the power to take action to control the child and bring it to its normalcy. Only when we have enough power to control, we should be acting from critical parent. Critical parent can act on another person only when we have control. Only we are able to control their actions in present and future. Otherwise, it is better to act from nurturing parent. You go to a public sector bank, I will not name banks, but generally, or a government department. How do they answer? They answer mostly from their critical parent. They don't answer from their adult. They answer from their rebellious child. You ask one question, in return, they will rebel. Their answer may not be proper. So, for a lecturer, nurturing parent is the one. I would, instead of this line in the middle, I would slightly shift it here and keep it at 70% and 30%. 70% and 30%. This is the best way to act, because the child, the student is expected to act from his adult, but 70% of the time, 80% of the time, he will be acting from his child. So, free child can be encouraged. A nurturing parent can handle. This is the secret of transactional analysis. A nurturing parent can handle very effectively the rebellious child also. We must understand the crux of this particular lecture, the essence of this particular lecture is the nurturing parent can handle, make rebellious child submissive, make rebellious child close to you, because the rebellion comes from his controlling parent, his parent. So we should not act from our critical parent, because he will be reminded. Somebody asks a question to an officer, why are you not appointing that lady in this job? This job, this desk requires a senior lady, a very senior person, a lady. Why are you not appointing her? She is suitable for this job 100%. Then the boss replies, she resembles my mother-in-law. She resembles from my mother-in-law. So I react in my life either from my rebellious child or adaptive child or from free child, depending on my past. I am a student. So you must identify where the student is acting from. The transaction can be in any way. They will be rebellious. Their nature is rebellious. 30 years later, when they see you on the road, they will fall at your feet and say, this particular subject you taught me that day has been useful to me for the entire working career, entire career of my life. I took up a job in this. That kind of a free method should be there. In Chennai, one of the colleges, I was sitting with the professor, a girls' college. I was sitting with the professor, and a student, an ex-student, a former student, alumni came. And the teacher, to enhance the image of the college in my mind, asked the student, the past student, the alumni, um, you are working there and how do you find the job? How is the job going and all that? Then she told me that she was very studious student in our class and she has joined this particular company and then she is holding this post. And out of nowhere, out of nowhere, without the professor expecting, the student said, Madam, it is very good. I am very happy about my college days. You all taught us well. But I must tell you, madam, she ignored my presence. She ignored my presence. And she said, only 10% of what you taught me in this college helped me in this job. 10%. Become honors. Only 10 to 20% helped me. The other 80%, I earned myself. I gathered knowledge myself. She was from her free child and adaptive child. Nothing wrong. The professor felt very bad. Professor felt very bad. And she was trying to explain the situation to me. Young child, she doesn't know much. We have taught them and she secured good marks. I said, nothing wrong. In the case of BCom student, they might have analyzed and judged themselves depending on the marks they got. In the case of BCom, you are an engineering college, but in case of BCom, there is a small chapter called bank reconciliation statement. The bank reconciliation statement out of 10, that particular girl might have got a 10 out of 10. 10 marks question, 10 marks. But when she went to the office and when she had the passbook and the ledger before her, and when the superior asked her to create a bank reconciliation statement, to prepare a bank reconciliation statement, she might have felt herself like an Alice in Wonderland, not able to do anything. A very simple chapter, 10 out of 10, but could not do because she could not relate her education with the desk requirement. And I told the professor, you give me 20 hours time. I will teach them how to fill the gap between the college desk and the corporate desk. There are certain areas. For example, in BCom, they won't teach you what is the use of MICR in a check. So that girl came from her free child. The professor was trying to be slightly critical, but she encouraged the student, but she was trying to talk to me from her critical parent to me, and I reacted from my adult. So a professor, a lecturer, while talking to the student, has to be very careful in his language, not provoke the student, not getting provoked will control the student, and a nurturing parent will do. If the boy does not behave well or the girl does not behave well, our limits are there. We must try to report it to the appropriate authority. A person can be critical, nothing wrong. A person can be critical provided he has control on the other person. For example, a nurturing parent can talk to the other person's CFC. A critical parent can try to control the RC provided they have the authority to do so. So understand, all transactions with your students, you must try to understand from their angle. They are acting from their child, not from their adult. What is the proportion for a person to lead a happy life? You must remind me when there is, when I have to close, madam. You must remind me. Please jet in and then remind me. This is 20%, this is 20%, this is 60% is for normal. This is 60%, this is 20, this is 20. For a person to have a beautiful life, pleasant life, you go to Ooty with your family. Don't act from your adult. Act from nurturing parent. You go to Ooty with your friends. Don't act from your adult. Act from free child. So we must know rebellious, adapted child. Adapted child is quite submissive, passive. It won't raise assistance, it won't raise any resistance. So we have to encourage the child to come out what is happening. They will weep, simply weep. They will keep quiet and they may take wrong decisions also. So, friends, uh, try to be more nurturing parent, process the information in your adult, use language from your nurturing parent, put your hand on their shoulders. அதில் ஒரு லிமிட் இருக்கு, என்ன லிமிட் வரைக்கும் அவங்க கிட்ட இருக்கலான்ட்டு. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இஃப் அ கை ஸ்மோக்ஸ் and you are passing through that side, if you have the authority, if the other person has got respect in you, you can just go and tell them that this is a bad habit, or you can find the right time to tell him so. But if you try to be critical parent, he will start acting from a rebellious child. So we must understand that the other person, mostly in case of this particular lecture, I am very, very happy because you are dealing with children, persons between the age of 15 and 25, depending on the education level, 15 and 25, teen past teen. So you must be very, very careful in your language. You must not lose your patience. You act from your adult. The last thing I want to say is the adult decides. The adult decides to identify from which area the other person is coming, from his parent, from his adult, or from his child. You analyze, find out an answer, appropriate answer, and if the situation requires, unlike in a normal office, you have to mostly act from nurturing parent. One of my professors passed away 3 weeks ago. Excellent professor, excellent assistant professor. He taught me business organization and management. And during the initial 3 days, we did not respect him much. But after the third day and the fourth day, he came very close to us. And when he passed away 3 weeks back, I was reminded of all the good things he taught us. So, reaction, results, realization of results in the student will come after 20 years. It is a 20-year fixed deposit. Cumulative results will come only after 20 years. He will realize your worth only after 20 years. If you get this in your mind, you will be able to handle your teachers, students well, co-teachers and superiors well. Thank you, friends. I am prepared to answer questions, if there are any.
Thank you, sir.
It is
Thank you
between
so much, sir.
10:30 and 11:30, you told me. I can
Yes,
stay
sir.
for some more time because I am at home. You can ask me questions.
Yes, sir. So, participants, you can post your questions. Very nice session, sir.
Thank you.
Really,
Thank you very much.
The end was like a very good touch. That is, it is like an investment.
There is
Yes,
one
sir.
question by Vinita Rane. Can ulterior motive, hypocritical nature, behavior? A very good question. I ulterior transaction, right side, when I say that in case of difficulty, you approach me, it is not hypocritical. And I am trying to be, because if it comes from parent, it can be hypocritical. If it comes from adult, it is not hypocritical. It's a very, very good question. Excellent question. I am thankful to you, Madam
Vanita.
Rane.
Thank you,
Excellent.
sir.
If it comes from adult, it may be hypocritical. Adult, if it comes from parent, adult works like CPU. 5 plus 3 calculator, it will give you only 8 unless the calculator has some problem. It processes and gives you the answer. But it does not have any emotion. So adult can be suitable 60% of the time. Depending on the situation, we have to shift. I will give you a small film example to make it relevant. அழகன்னு ஒரு தமிழ் படம் இருக்கு. ஐ வில் டெல் இட் இன் தமிழ். அழகன்னு ஒரு தமிழ் படம். மம்முட்டி, பானுப்பிரியாலாம் ஆக்ட் பண்ணது. கே பாலச்சந்தர் படத்து. கே பாலச்சந்தர் இஸ் a person who can handle the nuances of psychology in a very good manner. But children will be playing, all adopted children, not his own children, adopted children, and they will be dancing and all that. This gentleman is running a very big business. In everybody's mind, he is an adult person, a matured person. So he will be looking at the children, all the children dancing, even the servants will be dancing, and he will slowly walk smiling, go to the next room and dance for 5 seconds alone. He will dance for 5 seconds. That is the free child in him. We must have free child also. பசங்க கூட பேசுற போது ஜாலியா இருக்கிற பொழுது we must have free child also in a limited way. In a limited way.
So how could we gain these experience, sir? You said complementary transaction. How could we gain this experience, sir? We can enhance this ego state.
In the ego state.
Yes, sir.
The normal problem with any person after reading such books, I am okay, you are okay, and the relevant books is this. For the next 3 months, he will be looking into the eyes of the next person and thinking. Forget all those things. After the transaction is over, supposing the transaction has gone smoothly, 2 persons fighting, and somebody else comes in, and the fight is over, so it is handled smoothly by the third person. In medical science, there is a concept called iatrogenic intervention. Iatrogenic intervention means the doctor, through wrong medication or diagnosis, makes you sicker. Doctor comes in to cure you, but the wrong diagnosis, he makes you sicker. Iatrogenic. ரெண்டு பேர் சண்டை போட்டு இருப்பாங்க, there will be a third person coming in. And அவர் உள்ள வந்தோடனே என்னை பார்த்து அதை மாதிரி சொன்னேன்னு அவர் முதல்ல மூஞ்சியில் ஒரு குத்து குத்திடுவார். அந்த மாதிரி இருந்துடக்கூடாது. He is acting from his adult child. So for 3 months, after the transaction is over, this day is went smooth. This day it turned bad. Why? What happened with that personality? What happened with this personality? Could I have changed the situation? Could I have handled it in a much more matured manner? Was I reacting from my parent? நம்ம parent கிட்ட இருந்து வந்துரும். Deep sound down south, Kanyakumariயிலேருந்து somebody, a girl gets married and goes to Mumbai. At least at half a dozen instances, she will find that what was suitable for Kanyakumari is not suitable in Mumbai. அங்க வச்சிருக்கிற அவங்க வீட்டில் யூஸ் பண்ண வெசல் சின்னதா இருக்கும், இங்க யூஸ் பண்ற வெசல் பெருசா இருக்கும். They would be using white basmati rice. Those people will be using only wheat. அப்படி அந்த சேஞ்ச் வந்திருக்கிறதுக்கு அடாப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிற மாதிரி தான் நாம இன்னைக்கு இந்த சிச்சுவேஷனை வேற மாதிரி ஹேண்டில் பண்ணிருக்கலாமா? Could it have been handled in a better manner? Was I reacting from my controlling parent? அப்படின்ற அவேர்னஸ் வந்துட்டா போறோம். நம்ம மற்றவங்களை சேஞ்சே பண்ண வேண்டாம். மற்றவங்களை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணாம how we can react to the situation. Best way to react to any person is to react from our adult. To react from our 90% of the case. React from your adult. You are asking something at the counter. The counter clerk does not behave in a proper manner. நீங்க வர்ற பொழுது you could have handled the situation better. I am your customer. Why do you talk to me like that? னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா they will realize. There are certain places where they will not realize at all. But your adult mentality says, don't open your mouth here. Your job is to get things done. Job முடிஞ்சதா இல்லையான்னு பார்த்தா போதும். ஸோ எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கேதர் பண்றது, நைட்டு இந்த டேல நடந்த இன்சிடென்ட்ஸை கொஞ்சம் அனலைஸ் பண்ணி பார்க்கறது, அதுதான் ஈஸி. அதர்வைஸ் வி ட்ரை டு அனலைஸ். சைக்காலஜியில் அனாலிசிஸில் வந்து நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிடுறோம், ஐ ஆம் ஓகே யூ ஆர் நாட் ஓகேல போயிடுறோம். வித்தவுட் அவர் நாலேஜ் we will slip into the role, I am okay, you are not okay. But when you analyze, try to analyze them from the angle, I am okay, he is also okay from his angle.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Madam. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. I am very happy about the participation here. There were about
Yes.
40 people in the middle. Good,
Yes,
good,
sir.
very good, very
Thank you,
good.
sir. Thank you,
I
sir.
can see
Thank you for a
Dr.
very wonderful session.
Hafiz Zinin Ansari sir and Sami Abdul Qadir sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. A very rich gathering, educated people. I am very, very happy to be associated with this organization. This is the second time I'm come to your college. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. So, hope we did understand interpersonal communication in a better way through transactional analysis. So, that was a very different note, sir. Thank you, sir. We try to follow the ego states, whatever you said. As you said, we hold a very important state in our life to handle the children of age of from 16 to 23. So it is very, very important. So we take your inputs and for sure we will follow it, sir. Thank you, sir. And thank you, participants. So for joining with us. Yes, sir, we are getting a lot of feedback, sir. Excellent session is. Thank you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
you can also look into Sir YouTube in. Sir has given a lot of talk, and when we you can just watch it in YouTube. He has given a lot of inputs as an entrepreneur. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
Please.
you,
Thank you.
Kavita. Okay. So, participants, thank you for joining with us. So, we will meet in other 10 minutes for the next session. And at the end, we will share you questions for STTP, which is covered in phase 3. So, kindly fill it up. That will be taken as a feedback. So, kindly join us by 11:50, as it is to be 11:45, but already it is delayed. So, we will open the meeting room by 11:45 and we will commence the session by 11:50. So thank you all. With this, the day gets with that session, the day gets over. So thank you all. So we'll meet by 11:45. Thank you.